I think the discussion is very useful to know my lectures. And I also answered some questions. Last session I didn't answer you. Okay. So when I received the job for the branding consultant for Chun Shui Tang, so the first step I would do the diagnosis about the branding status for Chun Shui Tang, and I use this framework. This framework is proposed by myself. First of all, the quality of the tea leaves for any tea drink. Okay, this is the essence. The quality of the tea leaves and the way of the tea drink. So based on this framework, you can know the Chun Shui Tang invent the way of the tea drink. Okay, use the shaker, the cocktail shaker, to create the cold tea. Okay, so you can see that with the foam on the top of the tea. So and use this way of the tea drink, the Chun Shui Tang not only create the new way to drink the cold tea, they also create the new type of a beverage, okay, tea beverage. In that time, they don't have any tea beverage in Taiwan, also in the world. So that's why the Chun Shui Tang invented this way, the new way. And also, they also create the ambience of the tea house. So this will answer your questions. You see, in North Taiwan, you can find some, we call the xiaoxian, the tea house, okay, maybe the tea shop. They just provide a place. So this place for especially for attract the young people. They go to there to have a drink. But what kind of drink is not the key point. The key reason why they go to there is they want to the social interaction. They want to create a social relationship with their friend or the new friends. Okay, as you mentioned, the pretty girls. Okay, so this is not model of the tea house. The Chun Shui Tang creates the other model of the tea house, the ambience of the tea house. So combine the three dimensions, the Chun Shui Tang create a new tea drinking culture. So you ask me why or what's the new culture Chun Shui Tang created, and I will say based on this framework, you will know that. So, but there's still some branding issue about the Chun Shui Tang. First of all, the Prof tea milk has become one of the Taiwanese best known beverage and is the representative tea drink of Taiwan. Okay. But not too much people will recognize that the inventor is Chun Shui Tang. So when we talk about the pearl milk tea, and we say Taiwanese beverage, and you will say Chun Shui Tang. Maybe you will say this drink, birth and location Taichung, but you don't know. Maybe you won't say Chun Shui Tang. So this is the key points. If I want to make the Chun Shui Tang as the cultural brand, so this is the first issue I need to address. Even though you see, the Wallpaper is a very famous magazine for the design. I like this picture. It's more make the bubble tea more modern, more fashion. Maybe I can talk this to you earlier. When I do the brand consulting for the Chun Shui Tang, and at the later stage, to my mind, I want to create the bubble tea as the fashion kind beverage. I think this tea has the potential, but the Chun Shui Tang nowadays it didn't know this idea comprehensively. So you can see I saw the wallpaper. Do you know this magazine, the Wallpaper? is very famous. Okay, they created this image. Okay, but in this article, they didn't mention the bubble tea is invented by Chun Shui Tang. Most of the foreign people will tag this bubble tea as the Taiwanese representative drink, not Chun Shui Tang.
May I know what's the time of this date that show this speech?
Yes, in September, last year.
Last year.
September issue.
2013, September.
I'm sure that it's the September issue. Okay. And this is a special issue for the innovation driven in Taiwan. Okay, this issue has the special topic about the some design from the Taiwan. Okay, you can see that. Ambience of the tea house. So we can see the tea house is not only with the tea drink, snacks, and the meals, but also it's a relaxed ambience. Nowadays in Taiwan, I think the target consumer of the Chun Shui Tang is the family. You know, most of the family will go to the Chun Shui Tang because every member in family can find their favorite drink, snack, meals. You know what I mean? Okay. So I think it's a rare place in Taiwan. The whole family member go to there and everyone enjoy the drink, the food, the meals. But Chun Shui Tang can serve this role. Also the decoration idea of the tea house. Do you know this tea house? The idea is from the Kai Feng, the capital city in Song Dynasty. Okay, the founder of Chun Shui Tang, Liu Hanjie, he said he appreciated, he liked this kind of the lifestyle in Song Dynasty in China. Okay, so they applied this concept into their decoration idea of the tea house. So this is the part, the seasons, flower, and the famous painting, real treasures to decorate the door. Okay. So when you go to the each tea house, Chun Shui Tang, you can find this decoration. So let's make the Chun Shui Tang different from the other the tea house with the Chinese cultural characteristic. Okay. And it also provided the seasonal tea in different seasons. So it could happen in Asian society, why can it happen in modern society? Okay, so he asked himself these questions. But how many patrons know the decoration idea? So this also is a question. I didn't get a little survey when I consult the branding issue in Chun Shui Tang, and I guess some of my friends and also the consumer in Chun Shui Tang, most of them didn't know the decoration idea. They didn't pay attention on the flower, on the painting. No, they just go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house and have a drink. They don't recognize the decoration. So this is the second question about the branding issue. Sometimes maybe they just consider it as the Chinese cultural surrounding. So they will take this as the Chinese cultural surrounding, but they didn't know this is the kind of the lifestyle in ancient China. A little bit normal, okay, perhaps much more elegant, which means when we compare the decoration of Chun Shui Tang with the other similar tea house or tea shop, they think they told the Chun Shui Tang much more elegant, but the similar Chinese culture surrounding. Okay. You can see that. This is not Chun Shui Tang, but you can see the similar Chinese culture surrounding, and you can find the similar style. Sorry, this is not the one. Okay, this is Chun Shui Tang. Okay. So, the target branding is not the product, the bubble tea, but it's a tea house. So, in the early stage, when I propose or develop the cultural branding, the target is the tea, the product, the pearl milk tea, also the bubble tea. But when I analyze more deeply about the Chun Shui Tang, I think the target, the subject we want to branding is not only the tea, but also the tea house. So when I mention this, they accept my suggestions. So when you go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house, you will see they not only put the Chun Shui Tang, they also in Chinese we say the cultural tea house, 人文茶馆. So this is very, very different. So usually when we talk about the cultural branding, we will pay much more attention on the product, but we don't think about the corporate or the company. But in this case, I change my the earlier targets from the tea, the bubble tea, to the tea house. Okay, and when we do the cultural branding, first of all, we should build with the cultural stamp. You should find some. I call this term the cultural stamp. As identity of a cultural brand, so okay, you should interpret the specific cultural meaning. Okay, some specific cultural meaning, and to create a cultural experience. Because culture is in our daily life. You not just only explain what's the culture we have, what's the culture we want to provide. You should make a consumer to really experience what's the culture meaning. And sell your product or service with the cultural characteristic. Okay, and then you can make your brand as a cultural icon. So let's recall the definition about the Holt. He said the brand become icon not only highlight unique features and benefits, but staking out provocative and value position in some culture. So in my case, this culture is the tea drinking culture, especially tea beverage. But we will say the cultural tea house, the culture. We want to create some specific culture for the cultural tea house. So if you do that, you should, some three requirements, you should create the cultural need and to culture ritual. And the some innovation should have the breakthrough achievement in some aspects of the cultural the meaning. So as I mentioned in last sessions, the Chun Shui Tang creates the new way to have the cold drink. We call the bubble tea. So not only the cold tea is the bubble tea. So when you drink the bubble tea, the sense, including the five senses, not only the taste, but including the visual, okay, the visual, and also the surrounding, communication cultural meaning. So when we build up the cultural brand communication is very, very important because you want to convey the some brand meaning. You want to explain the some specific cultural characteristic or the cultural meaning. So you should use the brand communication. Pre-net. Here's the first one. This, we focus on the inventor. Okay. With smart tongue and a great sense of the taste, Chun Shui Tang invented pearl bubble milk tea. And from this pre-net, we also make the tagline. Here, tagline under the brand name. The tagline means the Chun Shui Tang is the inventor of bubble tea and pearl milk tea. Here is the tagline. Okay. And the body copy to explain how Chun Shui Tang transformed the traditional Chinese tea culture to the more modern tea culture. Okay. And based on this visual, okay, you know that it's like the maze. Okay. From here to here, you should find the way. And this way is not an easy way. So which means if you want to create the tea drink and you add some materials into the tea drink, you should find the optimized taste, the optimized flavor. So it's not an easy job. It's kind of a professional job. So based on this pre-net, we want to announce Chun Shui Tang is the inventor of pearl milk tea and bubble tea. But we also want to create performing mix. Because this job is not easy. This is not easy job. If you want to do for the right beverage, the tea beverage, it's not the easy job. It's not the job you can imagine. It's very difficult. Okay. You should have the smart tongue, okay. The taste. You have the sense of taste. Then you can find the best brand percentage. Okay. So we just performing the myth. The second one, the great works of the tea drinks created by 97 tea, we call the artists of the mixer. Okay, so we use the pearl milk as the key visual because most of the consumers first know Chun Shui Tang from the pearl milk tea. So we use this as the key visual. Okay. And maybe someone will ask you why number is 97. Because in that time, they just had 97. And we think if we use the 100, maybe consumer will say 100 is not real. You know, in Chinese culture, we always use the 100, 200, but we just specific number. Okay, 97. It is more real, more reality, and it's more credible. Remember, in last session I said when you explain the cultural brand, you should credible, perceived by your consumer. Okay. So it is. Also the brand and the same tagline. Again, performing the myth. This one, all premier tea leaves in the world converge in Chun Shui Tang. This plan I just want to talk about the here. We see when we develop the advertising series, the first two advertising want to make Chun Tang as the kind of an inventor role. But the founder of Chun Tang, Liu Hanjie, he also wants us to focus on the quality. How the product quality is better than the competitors. So we come up with this printness. We mentioned the quality of the T list. So you can see, still is under my framework. If you want to create the cultural meaning for the T, you can base on follow this framework. First of all, to explain how best quality of your T list, the way of the T drink you create, and the ambience of the tea house you provide, and the total tea drinking culture. So this week I call the publicist authenticities, because have drink is in our daily life. And all of the tea, from the black tea, green tea, oolong tea, pearl tea, all of the tea leaves is from the best tea in the world. That's why the cultural bubble tea created by Chun Shui Tang has been booming all over the world. Okay. So this is okay. So again, the publicist authenticities. Through the full version of printness, we can say the charismatic aesthetic. Let's go back to here. You can see that we use the how to say 书法 in English. Huh? Calligraphy. Okay. So you can see this is the use the calligraphy, but this is the use the Western 版画. How to say 版画? The Western painting 版画. Okay. Also this you can see this is the Western print art. 平面美术是怎么讲？ Yeah, print art. So you can see that in the visual, we just combine the Chinese and the Western art culture into this picture. And you see this is we create the new kind of the visual. Why we do that? Because we think the bubble tea Chun Tang created is also the same logic. They just combine the Chinese tea and the Western cocktail shaker. Combine these two cultures, and they created the brand. So the key visual we also use this concept. So that's why I would say you should find the charismatic aesthetic and use this aesthetic consistency. So as we recall, you can see that also the color, we use the brown color, because the brown color is typical color in Chun Shui Tang tea house, the surrounding. You can see that. So you can see, yeah, the same the visual color, the visual tone. Here. This also is the other thing I want to share with you, because my client Chun Shui Tang is do the full printness. It's their first time to do the brand communication advertising. So they didn't know the effectiveness when they launched this full printness. So they just prepared a little budget to conduct this advertising campaign. And when finish out this advertising campaign, then they don't have an additional budget to do the other printness. So I suggested you have so many tea house. How about take each tea house as your advertising medium? So they can apply all of the key visual we create in the printness into the other materials and use them in their tea house. So you can see that. So every person, the people, when they go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house, even though they didn't see the premix, but they still can receive this key visual and the key cultural text. Okay, we proposed in premix, and they can read this in the tea house. Okay, like this. Okay, pretty succulent. Okay, you can see that. And also, this one. They use this key visual. So when people go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house, that's why I say the branding target is not the drink, but the tea house. So when you go to the tea house, you will see all of this key visual. And see also the decoration, they use this here. Key visual in pretty nice. This one, you can circulate this one. Also the cup. Okay. So every consumer, when they go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house, they can receive and recognize also the feel about the cultural Chun Shui Tang want to convey. We also conduct a public relationship because they created some gifts for the Moon Festival. You know, in Taiwan, prepare the gifts for Moon Festival is very important. Okay, and so in the business world, you should prepare some gifts for the Moon Festival to your clients, to your customers. Okay, so China also containing these gifts contain the tea leaves and the bamboo snake. Okay. You can see that. This is also the first time Chun Shui Tang used the public relationship. This is also one of the marketing communication tool. So when we talk about the marketing communication tool, including the advertising, PR, public relationship, sales, promotion, personal selling, event, and also the internet, and also the mobile marketing. Okay. So in this press conference, we also demonstrate how to create the bubble tea. Okay. So this guy is the Li Zhouhui. She invented the pearl milk tea. You can see. It's like a cocktail. Yes, but it's not the wine, but it's the tea. So, which means that you use the tea as your base material. You also can create, we call the Chinese or Taiwanese cocktail. So, and like this. You can see the color. So, just shaker here. Recipe, how to make this cocktail by yourself. And also you can see the publicity, some magazine report how successful the Chun Shui Tang business. You can see that. So here's the press coverage. Press coverage also can help you to convey your the brand meaning, okay, your cultural brand meaning. Brand experience, we conduct online activities. As we discussed, for the tea culture in Chinese, there's for is a social interaction. You go to the tea house and gather your friends together, chat with your friends or your family. So it's seldom you use the tea alone. But maybe you will drink the coffee alone. Okay, you will go to the Starbucks and have the coffee drink just by yourself alone, and you feel comfortable, and no one think you are the real, no. But in tea house, if you just go to one just by yourself, maybe someone will say. So this is a different culture from the tea culture and the coffee culture. So we create the brain experience online activities. Okay. We know nowadays most of the friends, they just communicate or connect with each other online. Okay. They don't fast too fast. Yeah, right? They don't fast too fast. Even though your birthday, your good friend just send a text to you, hi, happy birthday, in your Facebook. Okay. You cannot feel about the friendship, the true friendship from your friends. So we just encourage the online user not just connect your friendship through the Facebook. Just go out, go to the Chun Shui Tang tea house, have chat with your good friends. So we just conduct these online activities. And this is really successful. We just find that if you, we know most of the users, they use the Facebook, they will post some text, okay. Post. So if in the post, for example, here, they will randomly choose some text, and if you are selected, then Chun Shui Tang will give you the some sales promotion coupon. Then you can use the coupon to invite all of your friends and go to the Chun Shui Tang face-to-face communication, not Facebook through Facebook. So this also is very useful. So the result of the brain communication with the IMC. Okay, I find it a very convenient way to check out whether you build up your brain awareness. Just use the Google search. Okay, you just have the first character, Chun, you can find it. Okay, number 4, ranking number 4. We just have the one character. And number 1. Okay, jump to number 1, Chun Shui, and you can see that. So, which means most of the users will survey or search. Why they will search your brand? Because they are interested with your brand. Maybe the brand product, or your brand service, or your brand tea house, or they see your advertising. So you can just use the Google search, okay, to check out your brand awareness. But it's different. This is the Yahoo. We also look at Chun. You can see 春天酒店、春天农场。Okay. Yeah, Chun Shui, the second character. Here. Okay, the last part I want to talk about the challenge of the cultural certification for Chun Shui Tang. First of all, the argument of who invented the pearl milk teas. There is the other tea house we call the Hanling, Hanling Changwan. A tea house based in Tainan, yeah, start to sell tea drinks, white Fen Yuan, okay, made of the sago in 1986. Chun Shui Tang invented the pearl milk tea in 1987. Okay, but the Chun Shui Tang used the Fen Yuan, not the white, the black Fen Yuan. And built itself as the inventor of the pearl milk tea. Nowadays, you go to each the tea house of the Hanli, you can see they announce they are the inventor of the pearl milk tea on the front door. the words. Okay. The founder of Chun Shui Tang, Liu Hanjie, published an article, announcing the can, saying his tea house invent the pearl milk teas. The pearl bubble milk tea is much better known for the pearls of black table curd made by Chun Shui Tang store than the white version. So the China store respond to the article by suing for libel, handling. But the result, Liu win the lawsuit. So this is the argument. So here is the handling. You can see that. You can go to their website. This guy is the founder. Okay. Actually, he's a good friend with Liu Hanjie. Okay. They know each other, very familiar with. But you can see he dressed the brown color, and also the waiter and the waitress also wear the brown color, like the Chun Shui Tang tea house. So this is I think it's still the challenge, okay, about the cultural certification. This also is the important issue when you develop your cultural branding. If you announce yourself as one of the cultural representative, sometimes the other person will say, "Hi, I also is the representative of this the culture." So there is some argument. So there is a cultural certification issues you need to address. Okay, the other one, bubble tea is spreading in the world. Now that we know the McDonald's launched the bubble tea in his Germany stores with the Mac Cafe, and also provide. But the flavor is some special Taiwanese flavor in his bubble tea. And also there is their store called the Biologies in London, and it sells the pearl bubble milk tea. So we know nowadays bubble tea or pearl milk is more much more recognized, widespread. But the Chun Shui Tang not the only one can appropriate all of the benefits of the profits from these two parts. So, and some guys will say the bubble tea is not just tea, it's bubble tea. It's not just bubble tea, it's Taiwanese bubble tea. But yeah, for Chun Shui Tang, if they want to prove themselves, they are the true the bubble tea. It's not only the Taiwanese bubble tea. Maybe they will say the Chun Shui Tang bubble tea. But I think they just lost the chance. Nowadays, if they spend the advertising budget, they want to announce or to reclaim they are the true bubble tea, I think the time is over. So, how, the last questions. Okay, go through all of my lecture. Do you think Chun Shui Tang is a cultural brand? Let me use this framework to check out the cultural branding model from the HOT. The keywords, Chun Tang can be taken as the cultural icon or iconic brands. I think maybe, but the red character I use is the yes. Chun Tang has done this job. For example, the brand definition perform. Okay, print out the print advertising, and they also apply the key visual to their materials you can find in their every tea house. Yeah, they perform the myths. They perform the myths that address an acute contradiction in society. They identity some categories. They just identity the cold tea as the bubble tea. It's a new type of beverage. So I think they have done this well. But they didn't serve this role of an author. They need to, what does it mean the author? Also means that you should convey your cultural meaning in different way. You should convey your cultural meaning consistency. You should convey this every year, like the Coca-Cola. You know, like Coca-Cola, they say the always Coca-Cola. And you can see the new advertising from Coca-Cola every year. And also the Nike, do you remember the slogan, just do it. But they use this slogan not just once. They still explain what's it mean just do it every day. They will find a different way to explain what's it mean just do it, just do it. So that's why if you want to make your brand as the cultural brand, okay, the cultural meaning, as I mentioned, the brand is about meaning. The meaning is important, and you should communicate this meaning every year. Because if you don't say, your competitors will say, and your target consumer will think, oh, this cultural meaning I heard about is not from you, it's from your competitors. So this is very important. And the other one, consumer zero. You should create or encourage consumer to provide their idea how to create the bubble tea for themselves. Okay? Like the Starbucks. When you go to the Starbucks, you can find there is a My Starbucks. You just click the My Starbucks, which means the My Starbucks means the consumer can provide their new idea, how to create a new coffee. Okay? So consumer will provide their new ideas. So this means personalizing the brand's myth to fit individual biography. Not the brand's myth is conveyed only by the company. You should encourage consumer can engage in your brand's myth. Okay. How to use your smart tongue and your great sense of taste to create a new one. Okay. So, and also the ritual action to experience the myth when using the product. We also need to create some activities. Okay. This kind of activities like the ritual. And we will conduct these activities every year, like the ritual. Then consumer will know, yeah, you are the cultural brand. So all of this is my opinion. And I finish off my lecture, and I answer my question, is Chun Shui Tang a cultural brand? Not really. The reason is not really, but keep going. Then there will be a real cultural brand. Okay. Thanks a lot. Any questions? Yeah, very, very good questions. As I mentioned, after my do the consulting job, and I know the target branding should be the branding the tea house. So this is just online activities. You know, online activity is one of the communication job we just conduct. But we hope we can conduct the other advertising, like the pre-meds, to continue to convey this concept, the tea house. But the Chun Shui Tang didn't agree to that. So that's why I say let's keep going. I still face some challenge, even though I completed a very successful advertising campaign for Chun Shui Tang, and then you know how branding is very important. But they didn't keep going to spend or to invest the advertising budget to convey their opinion. Nowadays they put much of their efforts to to open the new tea house around the Taiwan, and also go to the Japan country. So the next nowadays they make much more efforts not on the brand communication, but on their sales, the store.